The world deserves some form of unqualified apology from some former white disciples of TB Joshua, who has recently been fingered in several human atrocities in the latest documentary by the BBC. Well, my name is Fritz Amegashie. I'm a journalist and a storyteller in Ghana. Always wonderful to know that you're leaning into our big conversations and leaving your thought in the comment section. We love to see it, and we love to share your comment with the rest of the world. Happy New Year going out to each and everybody. We hope that your dreams come true. And of course, you have a lovely year. Well, after 2 years of investigating, the BBC has come out with an explosive interview that has got all eyeballs, that has got all tongues wagging, and of course, all traction on Africa's populous nation, Nigeria. It has featured the founder and the late leader of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, TB Joshua, in a web of accusations, some being that he was a sexual predator, he was a beater, and of course, he molested individuals, and especially women who attended his church. A big takeaway for a lot of you who haven't already watched the documentary is that your favorite pastor, who is currently late, is being accused of molesting women, sleeping with women, several spiritual machinations to be able to run his church. And the people who are giving the account about this man are individuals who have closely worked with him, in close quarters with him, who've come out to grant this interview to the BBC. And this issue has got the rest of the world talking. It's taken Africa by storm. It's got a lot of respected individuals in the Christianity fraternity in Africa, especially in Ghana and of course in Nigeria, to go on social media and find every platform they can to talk about it. We're all taken by storm by some of the revelations. It's so horrifying and so terrifying for a man of God who everybody knew that was upright and of course was charitable and has so much love and revered across the entire world, only to hear some of these atrocities allegedly that has been, he's been accused of doing, has got everyone taken aback and got everyone really shocked. Now, one of the things that I really want to talk about in this documentary, of course, we need to talk about the abuses, and I think that I'll have several other episodes to be able to digest the matter. But one of the things that have also really come up forcefully and prominently that people are not talking about is the role that the white people who worked in close quarters with TB Joshua played in also abetting some of these atrocities that are being preached and are being honed across the rest of the world. And we need to know that these white individuals were with him. They served with TB Joshua. They saw some of the things they were doing. They had the rights, they had the effrontery, they had the courage to be able to stop them. But they didn't stop it, only for TB Joshua to die, and they turn around in full circles and now point an accusing finger at the man of God. Now, and I feel like TB Joshua started all this and he got it all wrong. He actually gave prominence and credence to white supremacy. Now, white supremacy in the sense that he always put the white people in charge of communication. And for people who have followed Emmanuel TV, which is a TV channel for TB Joshua, you will know very well that in the 90s, when the TV station started and when he started building his ministry, trying to rally people around and selling the salvation to people, he used white people to be in front of messaging. You wake up and you tune into Emmanuel TV and you find white women and white men who are leading the communication, who are doing interviews, talking more about the testimonies people are going through, giving people the platforms and all the messages that were seen on social media. Well, then maybe we didn't have social media, but in the newspapers, in the magazines, these were messages that were being crafted by white people. Now we wake up and now these white individuals who have worked with TB Joshua have come to tell us that all the messages and all the testimonies that people sit in the comfort of their homes and watch and believe TB Joshua for are all fake. They were all staged. They were all not real. They were very invalid. And it's just got everybody really shocked and taken aback. I mean, we believed this man. We thought this man was spiritual. He was using the hand of God. He was full of all the powers of God. Now we have these white individuals who have turned their back and saying that look, this man didn't have any ounce of humanity. He was cruel. He wasn't the man we knew. He wasn't charitable. All the good things the world knew about him was just a facade. It was just a small screen performance. And we're hearing all these accounts from the white individuals, the former white disciples who actually work with TB Joshua and have known him for so many years, come tell us all of this. And they do not want to accept any responsibility or any accountability. Well, I feel like some of these individuals who have also come out to speak in the documentary and accuse TB Joshua of being molested, of course, we need therapy for them. We need accountability for them. But I feel like these individuals, these former disciples, these white former disciples actually who work with TB Joshua also abetted and contributed and added to the atrocities allegedly this man committed on the individuals. If people are in their homes and they are crying because they lost their children and they lost their resources and they lost their properties to the Synagogue Church of All Nations, it's as a result of the shared contribution of TB Joshua and the white disciples. So yes, we can fly blame around accusing TB Joshua, but we should also not forget the role the white individuals played in abetting some of these atrocities. You were in charge of media. You were in charge of communication. You had a lot of power. Media has influence on society. So it means that all the stories you were churning out there were just falsehood. And people believed it. So you were the gatekeeper. The media plays a gatekeeping role. And you, the white person, you on TV, preaching and selling the salvations to this world. All this while, you are preaching falsehood. Meanwhile, we thought you were doing a gatekeeping role and you're doing some responsible form of presentation or journalism or presentation. But you come to tell us that some of the interviews were massaged, they were underreported, and they were staged, they were not valid, they were not true. And all this while you didn't have the courage to speak truth to power. And you call this man into order. Now the man has died. Where do people get accountability from? We've seen all the things you've said in the interview, in the documentary, and how you're crying. But beyond the tears, let's see accountability from all of you. People or the victims who have suffered at the hands of TB Joshua may not get the apology or may not get the accountability they require or they need from TB Joshua because he's dead and probably turning in his grave by now. But you, the individuals who work with him in close quarters, who have been responsible for messaging, communication, and what people believed in their homes, you have some form of accountability to give to the individuals who have been maimed and been troubled by some of the horrific, happenings and atrocities, the videos, telling us all those manipulations. The former white disciples are all behind it. And they all need to shoulder some form of blame for it. And they need to apologize to the entire world for misleading us, for, giving us wrong information. All those interviews you did on TV with all these white folks holding placards, telling individuals and writing their names on it, writing their illnesses about it. They're all just lies, a web of lies. Now you turn around to blame the man of God who is not alive, who is dead. Accountability will start, and we have to start with the former white disciples of TB Joshua, and it has to start right now. Let me know what you make of this subject matter. I'm really, really, really passionate about it. We cannot overlook the role the former white disciples played in some of the atrocity, if there are any things to go by, being perpetrated against some of the victims. Well, my name is Fritz Amegashie. Let me know what you think about it. Leave your comments in the section. We'll be more than happy to read about it. Do not always forget to also connect with me on the various social media platforms. Fritz Amegashie on Facebook, Fritz_ on Instagram, @Fritz_ on X. Cheers and have a good one.